Hi guys, my name is Yvonne Princess Shabango. If you are new here, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And voila, you're part of the graceful, the beautiful, and the wonderful family. We are back with another video of Employment Wednesdays. And today we're talking about something that we all avoid until we get into the interview, right? Some questions that we all avoid until we get to the interview. We always prepare for tell me about yourself. We always say, okay, fine, I want to know how to answer the question, tell me about yourself. But now that you know how to answer the question, tell me about yourself, do you know how to answer scenario-based questions? Are you ready for those type of questions that force you to actually apply yourself? Because I think recruiters have actually realized how a lot of people cram their way through interviews. So they've become, okay, not even they've become, but most HR people are very creative in how they ask questions. So they will ask you questions where you are required to apply yourself. Questions whereby instead of you saying, my name is, I'm a hard worker, I'm a team leader, I am this or that, they'll ask you questions that you need to answer that reflect that you are a team leader, that reflect that you are commercially aware, that reflect that you are willing to learn, that reflect that you are maybe you are you are client driven, that reflect that you're customer care friendly, that reflect that you're a good communicator, all of those things, right? So the moment, like, I feel like now they don't care about us saying, you know, I'm a good communicator. They will give you a scenario whereby you have to show that you are a good communicator. So now today I'm going to take on like a few of the questions that you may look out for, as scenario based questions, right? So these are questions that you can expect in an interview besides tell me about yourself. Or if they don't ask you, tell me about yourself, trust me, they will ask you those questions so that they're able to tell the type of person you are. How do you handle conflict? What would you do? And etc. Right? So let's go into it. The first big one, so these questions are questions that I was asked in my recent interview, right? So I'm sharing them with you because they still fresh up in my mind, and I realized what I could have answered better. And I realized that actually, you know what, I'm also better than I thought. You know, sometimes we think we're not good enough because maybe we can't articulate we can't respond to the question, tell me about yourself. But when they start asking the scenario based questions, you realize actually I'm an OG of note, right? So the first question they asked me, because obviously I work with clients, a lot of clients, I work with members, I deal a lot with different people. Then they gave me a situation. They say, you have this member or client that is always calling and complaining. They won't give you time to actually handle the matter. They want to tell you how to do your job. How would you handle such a client? And I simply said, so firstly, number one, you must respond calmly, because the thing about so I'm just telling you side note, right? So the thing about clients, right, when you deal with clients, the moment you are not calm or professional, you actually aggravate them, like you actually, you know, to provoke them. So you have to be calm as possible. So here's how I answered the question. So I said, first things first, I need to be very calm and professional. Then I need to explain the procedures, the internal procedures that the company has in terms of providing feedback to a client or to a member, right? So then I further explain to client that if I don't provide any feedback, it means that I may not have feedback, or I may still need some more time to handle the matter better, right? And then in terms of dealing with a member that actually tells me how to do my job, I'll calmly tell them that in as much as they have particular knowledge, I'm much more experienced in this field and I know better because I am qualified to do this, basically. But you don't say this in a very aggressive or boastful manner. But basically the point is you need to be calm, you need to be professional. So even when you communicate this to your recruiter, right, you basically tell them that I know that I need to be calm, I need to explain the processes and the procedures, because sometimes members blow things out of proportion because they're not aware. They don't know how the company handles certain things. They don't know how the company does certain things. So the starting point is educate the member about what they are complaining about, right? And also apologize for the inconvenience caused. So you are firstly calm, you're professional, you apologize for the inconvenience caused, and then you explain the internal procedures that the company has. That's how I answered. Literally, my answer was all over the place. Literally, the way I'm answering, like sharing it with you guys, my answer was all over the place. This is how it was, literally. Like, yeah, this is how it was, you know? And then secondly, the other question that they asked me, sorry guys, I wrote them down. So then another question that they asked me, what would I do if I made a very big mistake, right? And this mistake has to do with a very big deal, a deal that is being closed on a Tuesday morning, right? And then on the Tuesday morning, I realized that I actually provided clients and every party involved with the incorrect documents. What would you do? Then I said, because now I don't have time, it's a matter of agency, I would contact my supervisor as soon as I realize that the documents are incorrect. Then I would contact my supervisor or my manager, let them know to say, hey, I did such a very big mistake. I actually submitted the incorrect document. Is it okay if I contact all the parties involved and provide them with the correct document? Right? And then my supervisor will give me a go ahead. If they don't give me a go ahead, and I would ask, what is it that I can do to remedy the problem? But also, you in answering that, you need to show that you will take initiative to actually deal with the matter, right? Number one. And then secondly, you need to show that you are a person that actually sorry, you're a person that is willing to learn, and you're a person that takes accountability. You've shown that you take initiative, you actually took initiative, you took accountability, and you're willing to find out what is it that you can do to actually improve the situation or to make the situation better, right? And then another one that they asked, and also actually I think this is a favorite because I saw some people actually asked about it to say, how do I answer to this? Then they said, what would you do if you were paired with a person that you don't agree with, a person that you have very different views with, and that particular person is actually your supervisor or your manager, so you can't run away from them, right? And then I answered and said, first things first, I'm one person that believes in separating business and pleasure, right? Because I believe in separating business and pleasure. So what I do is I put my emotion aside and focus on the bigger picture, on the project that we're working on, right? And then I approach my manager and say, hey, I do understand that you want us to do this matter this way, but I would prefer that we do it a certain way because I've done research to show that this way is better, or this way produces better results, or this way will actually work out perfectly for everyone, or it will do better for our member or our client, right? So with this answer, one, I've shown that I'm emotionally intelligent. Two, I've shown that I'm a person that is more project driven, so I'm not confusing my feelings and all of that in between. Three, I am a person who is able to communicate, because instead of throwing tantrums or being moody and etc., I've actually communicated with who? With my manager or the person whom I may have a glitch. And then also I've taken my time to actually listen and try and understand why they're saying we should do that particular thing in a certain manner. So you see, these answers are answers that we like. These are things we know, guys. These are things that you can articulate, right? But because you never really prepare, then when they ask you in the interview, you're like, what? Have I ever worked with a person that I don't agree with? Yes, we've all worked with people that we don't agree with. How do you handle that? So they're trying to see, how do you handle conflict? How do you how do you communicate? Are you a team player? You know, because now also it shows that I'm a team player. I'm not focusing on how I feel about that person's idea, but I'm focusing on the project. You know, I've actually communicated with this person to say, hey, listen, this is why I'm saying we should do it this way, and why are you saying we should do it your way? You know, all of that, right? And then another one, I think this is about the last one. Oh yes, this is also their favorite, guys. This is the last one. If you need more scenario-based questions on how I answer and etc., you can leave them in the comment section. We can always tackle them. Sorry, guys. We can always tackle them. And always remember to be calm, guys. Be calm. Do not, okay, I'm generally a fast speaker, right? I'm sure you guys have realized, right? And sometimes I need to pinch myself in the interview to say, calm down, you know? So do that, drink your water and calm down. So the last question is, what would you do if you are required to do a task that you've never ever completed? You are not familiar, you've never seen it. It's sort of it's something new, you're unfamiliar, right? So the first thing that I said is that, one, because I'm a person that is willing to learn, I'm a very curious person. What I would do is, given also looking at the time frame and the agents of the task that is given to me, so the first thing I do is I go out there and I research. I find out, what is that about? How do other people normally do it? Even before I get to the other people, I do my own personal research. Look at secondary sources, primary sources, case law, books and etc., right? So once, if I'm not satisfied or not sure, then I'll ask my other colleagues, hey guys, have you handled such a matter? How did you guys deal with it, right? If also I'm not satisfied with what colleagues are saying and I'm not understanding, then I approach the person, the manager, the director, the supervisor that gave me the task to say, hey, listen, this is what I researched, this is what I found out, but I still feel unsatisfied. I don't think I can be able to complete the task with all of this information I have to my best ability. Can you please kindly assist me or give me direction to where I can look, right? So one, you've shown that you're a person that is able to research. You've shown that you're a person that is curious. You've shown that you're a person that loves to learn. You're willing to learn. You've shown that you're a person that takes initiative. You're not a person that is just waiting to get things on a platter, right? And you've shown that you're actually a great communicator because you've communicated with your manager. And also, keyword guys, timelines, right? So you also indicate that you're actually a person that is time management driven, because you actually first check, okay, what is the time frame? What is the deadline? How urgent is it? So the way I'm saying it, that's literally how I articulated myself in the interview. And guess what? I got the job. So it means my answers were actually great. So curate your answers along those lines. Do not rush to answer, but be quick to think of circumstances that you've been through. We've all worked with people that we are not in agreement with, or people that maybe we don't like one another, but we've done great things. We've all worked with a completely new task. How did you handle that? How did you learn? What did you learn from that? We've all dealt with customers that are rude, that are like that will overwhelm you. How did you deal with that? We've all been thrown into the deep end. How did you handle that? So it's such things that actually give away, tell me about yourself. So these days are not so quick to say tell me about yourself, but they ask you this type of questions to actually figure out what type of a person is this person. How do they handle conflict? How do they handle themselves in a team? How do they deal with other people disagreeing with them? So yeah, basically that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative, and I hope you come back and you tell your friends to tell their friends, and do not forget to continue praying for one another. And I hope you guys are plugging with each other. And also, guys, just a side note, unrelated, normalize using recruitment agencies to get jobs. Like, it's a very good initiative. You might not get the job like after 2 days, but it really helps. It lifts off some burden. I know a lot of recruitment agents in terms of legal careers. If you want some links and all of that, definitely hit me up. I'll plug and you guys should be able to navigate the whole thing and probably get the jobs that you guys have been praying for. And without wasting any much of your time, do not forget to be loved, do not forget to be liked, do not forget to pray for one another. God bless you and happy Employment Wednesday. Love you all.